Hi everyone, my name is Samuel Maina. I'll be doing MK study and I'll be a drug and alcohol counselor. And I have outlined some points that I'll go through. The outline of presentation, statement of purpose, introduction, case overview, strategy, analysis and assessment, policy and legal framework, risk concern, challenges, best practice recommendation, ethical dilemma, principle and solution, conclusion and references. The statement of purpose of this case study. This presentation is a response to a case involving a 14 years old Annie who is brought up in a single parenthood family with multiple and complex needs ranging from substance abuse, mental illness, sexual abuse, and isolation. The overall goal is to build capacity strength through child protection system in Australia to safeguard the safety, welfare, and well-being of Annie and her family. The introduction of the case study. Single parenthood family and those from culturally and linguistically diverse background CAD have a growing history of multiple and complex needs in Australia. Most of these wicked problems need an interagency collaborative approach and flexible tailored solution to curb occurrence of other social problems. Various statutory and statutory support services exist to foster family well-being and specifically prioritize the interests of the child. Each state and territory government of Australia have unique policy and legal framework governing child protection service and juvenile justice system. Effective case management involves building strong relationships with the client throughout data collection, analysis, assessment of needs, and planning for action-based evidence. The case of a few that I have identified are as follows. Underlying social issues identified in the case studies include substance abuse. This one can be identified in Army daily history of smoking marijuana for the past 1 year. There is issue of mental illness, which affects Army's mother. There is the issues of sexual abuse, because because sexual abuse occur as because the because Army boyfriend is at 22 years old and Ame is just 14 years, so Ame doesn't have any age consent to allow for to have any consent for the sexual for the sexual intercourse. There is the issues of social isolation. The case study depicts Ame as socially isolated at school, and the issue of bipolar disorder. Ame has low self-esteem and social skill. The response to the case study. The case management will involve the following strategies, models, theories, and approaches that prioritize best interest to rights of the child. Strategy and approach. For effective engagement, I adopt the whole of the family approach that will see both Amy and her mother needs addressed. Interagency collaborative that will involve specialized service to address the multiple complex needs identified in the case study. Then the theories and models that are used, the case response will be anchored on the ideas of ecological system theory that infer on child development as a historic perspective involving the surrounding environment and other social and cultural factors that influence human change. The response will also conform the principles of best interest case practice model that include establishing relationship at the point of entry, engagement, engagement, parental, and empowerment. There will be engagement. The engagement will involve a series of interlinked activities. First, information gathering from Amy as a client, her mother, the schools, and relevant community member. Analysis and assessment to establish baseline risk and needs. Planning that will include meeting the needs, making referral collaborations and recommendations of specialized service. Recommendation of specialized services that include family supportive service for MA, criminal justice system, army, Amy is sexually abused by her boyfriend. Special health service. Amy Amy is 80. Then there is another issue. The other point is policy and legal framework. Australia is a signatory to the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of Children (UNCRC). Australian states and territories have individual set of policies and legal requirements for prioritizing safety and well-being of its children. For instance, Child Protection Working with Children Act of 2012 New South Wales, Child and Young Children and Young People Care and Protection Act of 2008 New South Wales, the Care Act, Family Law Act of 1975, the Commonwealth Law on Child Protection, the Crime Act of 1900, and the Young Offenders Act of 1977. The risk concerns substance abuse depicted from Amy, mental illness, especially from Amy's mother, suicide resulting from social isolation, sexual abuse and exploitation by the adult boyfriend, single parenthood, parental stress. The challenges include engaging young people and their family is a challenging task. Some of the challenges likely to prevail during engagement with the client include tension, multiple and complex needs of the family which require specialized multiple services. Most support services are a single issued focused and cooperative client. Client might react aggressively or violently. Cultural barriers. Then the ethical dilemmas in the case study. Some of the ethical paradoxes that may prevail include confidentiality and privacy, which may involve sharing information with the third party. Amy's trust would be lost, especially after intercepting the criminal justice systems in regard to the sexual abuse by her adult boyfriend. Boundary rule issue is always challenging and complex with children who may want to indulge personal questions. Informed consent from the client collaborative prior to cooperative service may be challenging. Solution to the highlighted challenges and ethical dilemma. Build relationships with client prior to serious engagement. Seek client consent prior to information gathering from other sources. Prioritize best interests of the child and uphold professional judgment and competence. Treat clients with respect, devoid of negative discrimination. Promote the client right to make decisions. Promote ideals of social justice. Conclusion. Contemporary societal Australians are faced with social issues that demand specialized support service in order to build capacities and strengthen the affected family. Each state and territory government in Australia has its own legislation that safeguard best interests of the rights of the child. The underlying wicked problems always pose this concern to the safety and well-being of the young peoples and their family. Systematic and ecological thinking is critical in the move for solution to myriad and complex needs of the families. That's all for today. Thank you everyone for your cooperation. Thank you very much.